What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Work Knife Balance. I am so thrilled today. Most of you can see that right there. We've got a really fun knife to take out of this box and show to you. But before we do that, thank you to everybody who has liked and subscribed to our channel already. If you haven't, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below, or you can hit the logo in the corner, and that'll subscribe you so you can see all the content that we continue to put out. But let's get started. This is why everyone is here. They want to see what we've got in this box. Now, this might not be impressive to everyone, but I am beyond thrilled because this is my very first Shirogorov knife. Not only is it my first knife, but I didn't have to pay a dime for this knife because I won it in a raffle, which makes it that much better. Oh boy, and there it is. There it is, the beauty of the night. Whew. Oh man. That just... Oh, that is just so nice. So nice. It just, the micarta feels really good. You got really slim, good ergo to it, and it just shoots out. This is the Shirogorov Neon NL with the Cromax PM blade. You've got a green micarta inlay on the titanium handle. And there actually is some milling on the inside as well to help for weight reduction, which is pretty cool. You got stainless pivot, stainless hardware going throughout it as well. And you got this nice little barrel spacer on the back here. But it is a just absolutely fantastic knife. Not ambidextrous clip, only one side, deep carry clip, but it has the hidden hardware on it, which just adds to the beauty of this knife. It is absolutely fantastic. You got the Shiro logo going right there for you. I am just so stoked to have this in my collection now. Let's go ahead and get started with a couple measurements for y'all. First off, right off the bat, we're gonna go ahead and do an overall length, and we are looking at about 7.5 inches for the overall length. Looking on the blade, we've got a blade length of about 3.3 with that cutting edge 3.3 on there as well. So it is a good size knife, nothing huge, but it's not necessarily the smallest compact that you'll have either. It is just a overall, I would say, average size, perfect carry for a pocket. This is exactly what I like to see, especially in that slimmer fashion as well. We do a couple comparisons. We'll start with the Ontario Rat 1. Moving on to the Ontario Rat 2 down below. So it is a lot smaller than that Rat 1. You're losing quite a bit on the back and the tip end right there. A little bit closer to that Rat 2, but definitely larger still than the Rat 2, so you're not gonna have to worry about it feeling quite as small as one of these. Let's move on to the Spyderco, see what we got in comparison to that PM2 up top, and then the Para 3 down below as well. So yeah, it's gonna give you a really good comparison. Actually, I think it's got a really good comparison to that Para 3. Obviously more on the blade, but and you're not gonna have the same profile with it being a slimmer knife. Look at that detent. That carry profile is gonna see, yeah, you're gonna have way less in your pocket, seeing so much of that Spyderco right there. And even on the carry side by side, you're losing more on that Shiro as well. It is a smaller, thinner blade to it, holding up next to one of the Ontarios, closer, but still smaller for sure. You got a really nice drop point blade to this, flat grind all the way through. It is just beautiful. I have been watching Shiros for a little bit now. I haven't actually ever owned one before, so I was beyond thrilled when I got this. And then after I was able to open it, I was just, man, they do so many things right with this. And this isn't even like one of their nicest models, but it's definitely one that I'm gonna hold on to and probably never get rid of. You got really good ergos, good jimping on the back here. You're gonna feel that as you hold. Both front and reverse feel great on that. You've got some of the milling on the edge here, kind of rounds the scales or the handle there, gives you a little bit more in that end ergo, so you don't feel it kind of coming up on you at all. And they actually, look at the detail and the edge here. I mean, you even have a little bit there, so holding it a little bit on the edge down or up, you're not gonna feel anything. This is just a beautiful, beautiful knife. I'm just so thrilled with this. That is for sure. It is definitely centered. Looking at this thing, there is no way you could say that is either way, one or the other. Comes out like a dream, and that detent, once it breaks right there, I mean, just a little jiggle and that drops. Blade's not heavy enough to kind of carry itself, but you don't really need it to. It's also, the detent's not going to be stiff, so it's not going to hold it to where you have to press in. You get enough rigidity to it to where you don't necessarily have to push it down, but it will come through. And then you've got the jimping on the back here. I'm not going to complain because it is absolutely a beautiful knife, but an extra line or two on the back, 1-2 jimp would be nice. You could catch your finger all the way around. Although I don't really think it's meant for a push. It's meant for that light switch as you come down for it there. This is just absolutely amazing. So these, I don't believe, are available anywhere online right now. You can get them used, but I don't know if they're actually available online. I do know a lot of people are going to be very familiar with Recon 1 and being able to pick up a Shiro there, but I don't know if they have any of these available currently. When they do pop up, this model, these Neon NLs go anywhere from $525 to $600 typically. You can get it with an LMAX blade as well, instead of the Cromax PM on it. It's going to be exactly the same knife. I think the micarta is a little bit different color, and then you have the LMAX blade, still multi-row bearing system on it. So you're going to have 2 sets of those bearings help shoot it out there. And it's just a beautiful knife. I love this thing for sure. Oh, carry comparisons, that biggest one is just going to be, I think, closest comparison is going to be that Rat 2. Larger than the Rat 2 for sure, but closest comparison is going to be that Rat 2. There's not much else I have to say about this thing. Shiro does a lot of things really good, and I think this knife is just up there. Even for not having to spend $1,000 on a Shiro knife, only spending $500 on a Shiro knife, this still feels like a really, really nice knife. There's something different when you flip this open that you feel versus flipping this open right here. I mean, Spyderco, don't get me wrong, absolutely beautiful knife. Even these Ontarios, absolutely beautiful knife. They're great for what they are, but it's never gonna feel like this when you flip that open. You flip that Shiro open and it just feels absolutely fantastic. You know this is a quality knife. You don't have to question anything about it. You've got good materials through, you've got good ergo through, you've got a good blade through. It is something that is never gonna go out of style in the way that it looks, but it's also just gonna last very long in how it holds up compared to a lot of the other blades out there. So I don't have much else to say. I'm gonna leave it before I put my foot in my mouth, but thank you everybody for watching. Until next time, TTFN.